Hey guys, this is me, Leviram45, and for those of you who know me on YouTube and on Facebook, I'm Maribel. I'm here to make a review video of Christy Sobolewski's Painted Faces 2 class. But before I get to the review, I just want you guys to have just a little overview of who I am as an artist, if I actually am an artist. Okay, I'm gonna try not to say so much on this video. Okay, so first of all, I've just recently in January 2013 started taking painting classes. I've never painted before in my life, so I'm just learning to paint. That's number one. Number two, I took drawing classes about 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. I started drawing. I had never drawn in my life. I was not born with that talent as to just, intuitively to draw. I can't. For my life, I cannot take a pencil and draw anything without seeing something. I learned drawing techniques when I started taking classes on, I think it was the Art Institute. I was taking designing classes, and I had to take a drawing class for that, for the course I was taking. And I noticed that once I put my mind to it, I was able to draw. I was able to draw things, after learning drawing techniques. And when I took that class, I understood that a lot of what you need for drawing is just knowing the techniques as to shading and light and reflected light and all that stuff. So I decided to take drawing classes. I took drawing classes for about a year, and when I stopped taking the classes was when I started the part of the anatomy as to the face and the features of the face and the body and all that. So I have a couple of drawings of faces, pencil drawings. Basically what I took was pencil drawing. I never took painting or color pencils or anything of that. I just drew the faces and I shaded them. But I was how do I explain it? Kind of like when you don't dare to go over, I would shade, and the teacher would always tell me, you need to shade darker, here, and this, that. I did learn the techniques, but what I want you guys to know is that I'm not an expert at drawing. I'm not an expert at painting. So when, like about 6 months ago, I started to adventure into what all this of mixed media and art journaling is. I've never kept an art journal in my life. I always started a diary when I was small and a journal when I was small, but I never finished it. I'm not very fluent as to, not fluent because I'm fluent in English, I'm fluent in Spanish. I live in Puerto Rico, but I was born in New York, and I came to Puerto Rico when I was 13 years old, so that's why I speak pretty much a good English. But in the writing aspect, I don't flow very well. Ideas don't pop to my head that quickly. So in the journaling part of an art journal, I struggle a lot. So I started watching Christy's videos, and I really liked the way she painted her faces and she drew her faces, because as she says, they are imperfect faces. But having a background as to drawing realistic faces, which it's not that I drew them that realistic. You guys can go jump over to my Facebook page, is Maribel Estrada, and I have an album as to my drawings, my pencil drawings there, and you will see that they are not perfect, but they do go in the range as to realistic drawing, not imperfect drawing. So when I started reviewing her videos, and I always wanted to take her painted faces video, because I've always, ever since I started drawing, when I took that class, I was very inclined as to drawing faces. I like watching people's expressions. I wanted to learn how to draw different kinds of expressions, but I never, first of all, I never made it one of my goals. And I, one thing, I'm very busy. I have a very hectic life, and it's difficult for me to just sit down and say I'm just gonna draw. Yeah, I had to go on vacations, and on vacations this weekend I drew 2 faces out of 4 days I was there. One of them was in the beach, and it came out beautifully. I just loved it. So anyways, so I just want you to know I'm not an expert at this. So I will give you my opinion, my review as to a non-expert person in drawing and painting, as to how my journey has been with Christy's class and Painted Faces. The first class I've ever taken from Christy is Painted Faces 2. I've seen her videos. I am tired of seeing her videos. I see them on and on and on, constantly seeing her videos, because I really like her style. I really like who she is as a person. I like the way she teaches. I like the way she shows. I like the way she uses things, the way she recycles, the way she gives you so many ideas, the way she explains it. I feel like I'm sitting with her, next to her, while she's teaching what she's doing. So as you can see, this is the cover. First of all, let me just try to organize my ideas. Okay. What I used, as I said, I mentioned before, I live in Puerto Rico. For me, it's very difficult to find the supplies that I need, or the supplies that I would love to use. So first of all, I did not find any hot press paper. This paper that I used, you can see it very well, because as you can see, my book is not finished. It is a watercolor cold press paper. I understand, I'm not sure if that's true, but as I understand, cold press is very different from hot press. Hot press is like my opinion about it, what I think is what hot press is that it's a smooth paper. This one is very rigid. I don't know, it has a lot of bumps and stuff. It's very thick. I think it was 100 and something pounds. It's a very thick paper. Okay. But it was the size that Christy recommended for the class. And I did my journal exactly the way she teaches it. It's more or less, it's like, I think it's Tisha Moore, the way Tisha Moore explains it on a video. So I did the book exactly that way. But it is a watercolor hot press. Number one, I don't like that paper. I don't like this paper because it's very difficult to paint on it. But overall, the class, it is excellent. I really, really, really recommend this class up front, honestly. Although I'm not a painter, I do not draw. I did draw all my faces. How do I say it? Using as an example her faces. She gives you the templates of all her faces, so you can either use them, but I wanted to draw them. I wanted to practice drawing, so I drew all my faces, and you will see that this is Painted Faces 2, and the faces are not painted. I'll explain that later, okay? But as to the techniques of the class, in every single class you will get, there are 12, I think it's 12, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 faces. In every single class you will get a new technique. For me, they were all new techniques. because I'm new at art journaling and mixed media. They are new techniques. They are techniques that make you want to try different things. This technique, for example, they did not come out the same as Christy, obviously, because she's done them a million times. This was the first time I did each and every of these techniques. But although I struggled a bit with the techniques, not as to understanding what she did, as to me applying the technique, yeah, I did struggle a bit. I had a lot of the techniques, I had to try them out before doing them, which that is totally okay, because you should try it out. And I wanted to try it out because I didn't want to ruin my faces after having so much drawing them, and they came out beautifully. I love the way my faces came out. So that is one of the reasons why they're not painted yet, because as I said before, I've only drawn faces. I've never painted them, and for me it's a little bit difficult, I haven't let go yet, and I don't want to ruin my faces. I honestly do not want to ruin my faces. So that's another story. But anyways, each of the techniques, I tried to do them as similar as I could as to how she did them, but also trying to incorporate my own style. So, and she leaves a lot of room for that. You can do it as she wants, or as she shows you, or you can just use what she shows you and try to do your own way, which I totally like that. So I'm going to give you a quick flip through. I'm not going to talk about the techniques, because for that you need to take the classes. I'm just going to let you know how everything went and how the class is. So, and if you will see each face, the background and the hair is basically the new techniques. Although she does do a lot of different techniques as to painting the faces, and they're awesome also. Please do not get me wrong. I have not done my face, not because I don't understand what she's showing. It's because I need to practice it out of my journal first, so that when I do it, I don't want to start doing it for the first time on my journal. That I do not want. I will be using other faces to practice those painted, the shading and all that, before I do it on my face. And one of the reasons why basically all the backgrounds and everything is done and my faces aren't is because there's one product she uses for shading in this class, which is the glazing medium. This class is all about glazing medium. Painted Faces 1 was with water. She would blend with water and shade with water, and this one she's using glazing medium, and I did not find that product here in Puerto Rico. I tried a million different products and nothing really worked, so I had to wait for actually Christy did me the favor as to getting me a bottle of glazing medium, which is this one, and I'm still trying to learn how to use it, because I don't feel it gives me the same effect that it gives Christy, and I really have to play with this before I play on my journal. That's why my faces are not done yet, but I do want to do the review for Christy, so I'm just gonna throw this one out, and as soon as I finish my faces, I will do the review as to the painting phase of the faces. So please forgive me for that, Christy. But anyways, as you can see, these are my faces. This technique is awesome, and again, my faces aren't painted, so this is the flip through of the faces. As you can see, in every aspect, this is the other technique, and this is another technique. Her hair, basically her hair is all the different techniques that Christy shows you. And this one, she has a name for each and every one of them, but I don't remember all of them. And I love this one. She looks oriental. I really love it. This one is not finished yet. I still have to do there are still a couple of little details to it that I have to do for all the faces. This one, the hair is still not finished. I should have done it like kind of bigger, because this technique is an awesome technique, but I used like a too much of a small space. Okay, this is another technique, which is the same one we use here. Basically, this is one of only the first two, I think, and this one are the ones that are almost practically finished. Please do not look at the shading of the faces. Don't. My review is not on how I painted the face. It's her class. So I really love this technique. It seems difficult. It seemed difficult at the beginning, but once, as I said before, Christy as a teacher is awesome. She explains step by step, and it is so easy to follow her. I love that about her. Yeah, and I like made a boo-boo here, but anyways, let me see if I really hope I'm in frame right here. Okay, and as you can see, the journal is very it's interesting the way you do the journal. This is the one I'm going to finish today. Her hair, the technique is on her hair, and the background didn't come as quite as the same as Christy, but there we go. It doesn't matter. And this face, I just love the way this drawing came out. She goes all the way over here. She takes 3 pages. I've got to do these 3 today, and this is the last one. So again, guys, number 1, as to Christy as a teacher, believe me, she is the best, honestly. And believe me, right now at this moment, I started taking this one, and I've taken 2 other online classes with 2 other artists, and I don't want to put them down, because each teacher is an individual teacher. Everybody has their own style. I am, as a profession, a teacher, and you know, I don't like people judging me as a teacher based on somebody else as a teacher. No, I don't like that. But when it comes to when you're paying for something, you really want to get your money's worth out of the class. And I'm not saying that the other classes I've taken, I haven't learned anything. Yes, I did learn. Yeah, I did. But one of the things that I honestly like about Christy is that she gives you your money's worth of the class. This class is 12 faces, but each face she does the least that you get in one face is 3 videos. And I'm not talking about videos, 15-minute videos where she shows you and she explains to you, I did this. No. She has her videos 30 minutes long, 40 minutes long, an hour long, where she explains every step of the way, and she's actually painting the face at the moment. That I really like about Christy, honestly. I really I can't stress more that you will get your money's worth out of these classes. And honestly, the price that you pay for her classes, once you take the classes, you say, wow, she put time into this, effort, and you can see that it is her passion to show. So that I love about Christy, the way, you know, she is passionate about what she does. And she really communicates every idea she has. She really communicates it beautifully, and in a very friendly wise way. And when I say friendly, you know, she is friendly, but it is an easy way to understand it. Content wise, awesome. The class, it has a range of different techniques. It is, I know, and I can honestly say, I believe I can honestly say that although you may be an experienced art journalist or artist, you will learn something out of her classes. You honestly will. She is big on giving tips, on giving alternatives. With the glazing medium, how many different alternatives didn't she give me for the glazing medium? It's just that since I've never worked with this, I never know. I don't know what it is that I have to expect from it. So I need to play with it. I need to play with other mediums that can substitute the glazing medium, you know, so that if I don't have it, I can use something else. So it's not a matter of not having the supplies. She gives you the alternatives to have supplies. There are, for example, in this one, I didn't have the exact supply she used for this technique. I had a different one, but I used it and it worked out perfectly fine. Okay, but the thing is that I think this paper is really, as she says, thirsty, because I know this product. I used it a lot before for my my resin pieces and my polymer clay pieces as to glazing it, and it's like a varnish. And here it really just like soaked into the paper, and it keeps on soaking into the paper. But anyways, I like the overall effect. I loved playing with it. And the content of the class is, believe me, you will get your money's worth. It is awesome. She gives you 12, actually it's not 12 techniques, it's more than 12, because it's 12 techniques for the hair, but it's also basically 12 techniques for the backgrounds and 12 techniques for the faces. So you get how many? 24 and 12, 36 techniques, more or less. Yeah, please don't judge me on my math if I'm wrong. Okay, so you know, it's awesome. And what else? As a teacher, her content, the material, as I tell you, you get more than 20 videos. There's a class that has, I think, 4 to 5 videos that make up the class. So you can imagine the effort, the time she put into this, and she just is awesome. I love it. I really love the class. I recommend the class 100%. If you're not an artist, you will learn how to do it. If you're an artist, you will learn more new things. So if you have not taken this class, I recommend that you know, if you can, just go take it. If you're thinking about taking the class, stop thinking about it. Go take the class. You will love the class. I started taking this class, and I've ended up taking 2 more classes of hers at the same time, and I'm really behind on my 30 pages. Yeah, I'm really behind on my 30 pages. So, nothing, guys. I hope you liked the review. I hope you liked my flip through, not my unfinished painted faces to journal flip through. So, oh, and another thing, she, at the end of her painting her faces, she makes a video where she wraps up the whole journal and she shows you how to finish the whole journal. It's not like you get your faces and that's it. No, she does the whole deal. You know, you finish, after you finish your faces, there's a video where it shows you how to embellish it, how to finish it, how to journal on it, and she just gives her the way she finished her journal, which is awesome. This stardust thing is beautiful. I love it. I just love it. I filled my faces with stardust, if you can see. She says, don't, you know, it's not a matter, her point of view is not to fill it, you know, just to get a couple of it, but I loved it so much that I wanted to fill it. So if you can see, my faces have, this is the one that least has it because it doesn't have too many spaces. But yeah, the faces have not, and this one, they're not off. I haven't taken them off her yet, but anyways, that's it for now, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this review. Christy, thank you so much for the opportunity to taking this class and to be one of your reviewers for this class. Again, you are an awesome teacher. You are an awesome person, and the person you are reflects on the way you give your classes. So I plan on taking the rest of your classes, but I know I can't take more than 2 at the same time. So anyways, thank you for sharing with us your knowledge, your expertise in painting classes. And after seeing so many of your videos, you know what? I see myself in you for so many reasons. There are so many things we have in common. You have no idea of the things. Actually, in these couple of days, with 30 pages, I found out that we both love the color purple. That's my favorite color. I love purple. And we love cats. We have cats. There's a million things that we have in common. And I want to thank you for being my inspiration. Oh, that's another thing, guys. One of the things that, as taking these classes, what Christy awakens, at least in me, I'm talking about my experience, is awakening in me the desire to try different things. Honestly, I have seen myself trying different things. I was sitting at my table yesterday, and I'm looking at all the supplies. My daughter came up the other day and she said, "Wow, Mom, you have so many things. I've acquired so many things in such little time." I've been on YouTube for a year. I haven't been here for 2 years, and I've been doing art journaling I've learning mixed media. It hasn't been a year yet, and I have my studio, my workroom is so full of things. And I was just looking, and the other day I was looking at, I have a ton of these little scribbles. I used to use them in resin and polymer clay. That's where I started out. And I've got a bunch of these. And I was looking at them and I go, I have to try out what I can do with this. I have to start experimenting with different things. And that's what I've been doing ever since I've been taking Christy's class. I've been wanting to experiment with everything I have. And believe me, that is something that I've gotten out of Christy. Experimenting, wanting to try different things, not having something and saying, okay, I can use this other thing. So thank you, Christy, for all that. Thank you guys for watching my video. And again, if you're thinking of taking Christy's class, don't think it twice. Just go ahead and take it. If you have the opportunity to do it, go ahead and do it. So I'll see you guys. God bless you. And I'll see you in another moment. Bye-bye.